Hello, I'm Ekaterina Svikhnushina, a PhD student at HCI group at EPFL. In this presentation, I will talk about the PEACE model, which describes the key social qualities of conversational chatbots. I will start by briefly discussing the background and motivation for our work. Then I will explain how we developed and evaluated the PEACE model, and finally conclude with the resulting implications. To begin, let's define what a chatbot is. By a chatbot, we understand an artificial intelligence-empowered computer program that interacts with the user via natural language. Chatbots are broadly classified in two types. Task-oriented chatbots help users achieve a specific goal, for example, order a pizza. On the contrary, open-domain chatbots do not pursue any functional aim and try to become virtual companion to their users by engaging in small talk with them and socializing. These chatbots are yet minimal on the market. Interestingly, human role metaphor of a chatbot triggers social behavior from the users even when they interact with the utilitarian task-oriented agents. In some domains, such as online shopping, the percentage of social user input to these agents was shown to reach remarkable 80%. Clearly, social skills are becoming imperative for chatbots. Many researchers maintain that future agents should be developed following the hybrid framework combining both task-oriented and social chatbots properties. However, previous work doesn't provide a consolidated view on what social qualities are most crucial for chatbots to ensure enhanced user experience leading to technology adoption. To address this question, we draw inspiration from existing user experience and chatbot adoption studies. Specifically, we thoroughly reviewed works on user experience and expectations of chatbots to create a model of their most prominent social qualities. And then we assessed their influence on user intention to interact with the chatbot using psychometric techniques, typically employed in adoption studies. Based on previous research on expectation confirmation theory and technology adoption, we decided to structure the constructs of our model into three high-level layers: user attitudes, expected chatbot qualities, and behavioral intentions. User attitudes refer to a set of their beliefs and behaviors toward a particular thing or event. This layer consists of several constructs. Openness to technologies describes users' personal disposition towards new IT products and services. Vulnerability, defined by social and monetary harms, refers to users' concerns about their security and privacy. Finally, empathy propensity illustrates users' disposition to understand and respond adaptively to others' emotions. For expected chatbot qualities, we highlighted the following constructs: politeness, chatbot's ability to establish respectful and non-judgmental behavior; entertainment, a promise of playful interactions, diversity in chatbot's responses, sense of humor, and small talk; attentive curiosity, chatbot's ability to adapt to the users, anticipate their needs, and play a role of an active listener; and empathy, ability of an agent to recognize and respond to user emotions appropriately. Lastly, behavioral intentions describe users' intention to use the chatbot and their desire to introduce a chatbot to their friends. According to the theory of planned behavior, these indicators can be a strong predictor of actual behavior. To evaluate our model, we form a set of hypotheses about how various constructs relate to each other. We hypothesize that openness to technologies and empathy propensity have a positive effect on users' expectations. At the same time, a sense of vulnerability would influence them negatively. We also expect a significant positive effect from users' expectations to their intention to use socially and emotionally aware chatbots. To validate the conceptualized model and the hypothesis, we developed a structured online survey where each section of questions measured different constructs of our model. We used existing Toronto Empathy Questionnaire scale to measure users' empathy propensity and devised other Likert-type question items ourselves. We ran our survey on Amazon Mechanical Turk platform, requiring our participants to be based in the US. The main reason for that was to eliminate the possibility of question misunderstanding caused by language-related issues. Initially, we collected 1,000 of responses and then followed a number of filtering steps to ensure the data quality. The selected 536 workers adequately represent different demographic variables and provide a reasonable sample of laypeople users. Further, we conducted data screening for all question items to check that they satisfy structural equation modeling assumptions of normality. In the following analysis, we first verified that the relationship between multiple observed variables and the underlying constructs exists by applying confirmatory factor analysis. As suggested by the results, our model is validated as satisfactory in terms of internal consistency reliability and the convergent and discriminant validity. Next, we conducted path analysis in structural equation modeling to examine the causal relationship between the variables with respect to our hypothesis. The model fit indices surpassed the recommended values, and the resultant path loadings and R-squared coefficients proved the hypothesis relating the constructs and produced the final piece model. Let's have a look at it in the next slide. So, the piece model comprises the essential social and emotional qualities for conversational chatbots. It also allows us to extract several important implications. First, it demonstrates that individual differences in people's attitudes play a considerable role in forming their expectations about future chatbot technology. Therefore, chatbot designers and developers should use this initial knowledge about their users to tailor user experience. Second, politeness proved to be an essential prerequisite for people to consider engagement with social conversational agents. Therefore, it is critical for developers to meticulously control the quality of the training data for their conversational models and regulate unethical chatbots' replies by other means. Third, in line with previous studies, the piece model supports that entertainment and humor demonstrate superior leading effect on user adoption intention, indicating that these qualities should be provisioned as a part of the chatbot's social intelligence. Next, our findings suggest that users would be willing to share their thoughts and information with the agent once the politeness requirement is satisfied. Thus, developers should incorporate active listening and question-asking capabilities into their chatbots. Finally, our results prove chatbots' empathy to be one of the decisive factors influencing users' desire to accept it. So, it's vital for future agents to combine both the ability to detect the user emotion accurately and generate an emotionally appropriate response. To conclude, our work presented an overview of recent user experience research devoted to conversational chatbots. Careful examination of the results from related studies led to the conceptualization and validation of the piece model. It captures essential social and emotional qualities of chatbots, predicting user desire to accept this technology. Future research should further validate the piece model with other populations and by employing alternative research methods. This could offer additional validity assessment for the findings originating from the self-report study, as well as account for potential changes in user expectations following their actual interaction experience with the technology. Furthermore, additional studies on chatbot personality are needed to evaluate its influence on user adoption. We presume that personality failed to segregate as a standalone construct in our analysis, as the traits defining one's personality are considerably dispersed across the other 4 established constructs. Thank you for your attention, and now I would be happy to take any questions.